Yeah, baby. Welcome back, baby. My name is D, and together we are Guiding Delight. How's everybody doing? How's my high vibe tribe? We staying active? We staying excited, extravagant, right? Maybe not. Got some notes with me. I'm going to call this one Navigating the Seas of Misconception, right? There's so much misconception going around right here. Like, where do we start, right? But before we do that, we'll pump the brakes a little bit, shift the gears. So did you guys really pay attention last week what happened, right? So last Tuesday, today is the 1st of July, thank God. No offense to June, but let's go ahead and get into July because July 4th is a very special day, but we'll get to that point. But if you look at what happened last week, we had this Schumann spike, and everybody's like, oh, this is it. This is these galactic energies coming in. Wrong. That was a manipulation of energy happening, right? It was very chaotic, and it caused some integrity to be seen more fully. But in the same sense, they can pump whatever they want into the ether, right? But we are regridding the ether. We are redeveloping the ether, right? The energy that affects us in our physical is being altered and changed daily. And beautiful light workers and light warriors like me and yourself, we're doing a fantastic job in moving that trajectory and moving that timeline closer, right? To where instead of the ether, we'll call it the wrap of crystalline structure, right? Crystal blue. Pay attention to the size of the crystal, pay attention to the color of the blue. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, you'll get there, right? This spirituality stuff doesn't happen overnight, and as your discernment comes up and as you become more connected to source, you'll start seeing things, right? Vision's always going to be the last thing that happens, right? You got to start speaking your truth and being real, right? Being you, right? Once you start doing that, everything will start opening up, doorways will open, and that vision will come in if that's what you truly desire. Now, I wouldn't suggest going for the vision right away because you see some other things that linearly right now you might not be able to comprehend. And so until you can break out of that linear thinking, become more quantum, well, you won't see quantum. And that's all because you can't see something quantumly and have it shake your reality physically, right? Or at least that's what they don't want to happen, right? We want to stay benevolent and pure, but in the same sense, we don't want to rush our journey, right? It's a journey for a reason, right? Stay moving on the forward path. So if you guys pay attention to that, last Tuesday, it was a lot of manipulation. On the weekend, I felt heavy and sparse at times. I spent the weekend at my family reunion, got to see 72, I think it was, of my relatives. It was very nice getting together, having a big cookout, throwing some horseshoes, just interacting with family. It was a great time. Didn't worry about anything. I didn't hear one person talk about anything going on in the news. It was all, what are we doing in life and how we're progressing and just how beautiful our family was. So it was very nice. But why I did that, I was in the city, right? I can't expand, right? I'm not allowed to be this huge expanded being in the city, right? I gotta kind of keep it chameleon, right? I gotta camouflage myself, right? Just because I don't want to disturb other people's energies in different sectors, right? Very important to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, right? So don't play all your cards at once. But here we go. So navigating the seas of misconception, right? There's so much misconception out there. I'm just going to jump right into it. Time, right? Time's a misconception, right? We linearly think that that time, we only have a certain amount of time in a day, and then because of the way we view time, we feel a lack of time, and therefore we don't do it because there's not enough time, right? There's always enough time in the day to do whatever you want, right? You just got to put your mind to it, and you have to set your trajectory on where exactly you want to be in order to set the time aside so that you can accomplish your goals, dreams, and aspirations, right? You got to put time aside in order to dive deep inside yourself. You got to put time aside to sit quietly so the universe can speak to you, right? So time is a misconception, and once you realize time is simultaneously and everything happens harmonically balanced together when you're balanced, right? Some things go and some things don't, but once you get balanced, everything goes together. So keep that in mind. Money, right? Big misconception on money. You know, oh, it's evil, root of all evil, right? Well, really, it's just a tool. And if you have a lot of money, then you have a lot of tools, and you're able to buy assets, right? So the main thing is have money, but then use your money to obtain assets that will appreciate in value, not depreciate in value, right? Everybody says go buy a car, go buy this and that. I suggest a house Crystals are always good, right? I bought a bunch of crystals over the last couple of years, and I've gained money off of it, right? So an asset, something that's going to appreciate. Money is not evil. Money is very helpful. You know, if I had millions of dollars, I could feed the world, right? I could build a healing center. I could do all these other things that I want to do, right? Calm down, breathe it in, realize money is a tool. It's an opportunity, not to be fear of it. Allow it to come in. And the older I get, the more I progress in my career, the more abundance I see, and the more I'm able to achieve greatness, right? Okay, good. Spirituality. So much misconception within spirituality, right? You have to do it this way. You have to do it that way. You can't do this. You got to eat healthy. You got to do... No. No. You have to accept the darkest aspect of you, the deepest part that upsets you, and you have to bring it up and allow it not to upset you, right? You have to, I hate to say it like this, but this is the best way I can think about it right now, is you have to become the devil's friend, right? And then you have to make the devil become the angel. Essentially, that's what you're doing when you go through your dark night of your soul, your shadow. Check it out, Hawksta. Love when the hawks fly by. Very sacred and symbolic for me, right? In the synchronicity. So there we go. Don't overdo your spirituality. Your path's not going to be the same as everybody else's, but however, there is truth within it. But the key thing is you have to do this and that. Everybody's different. Everybody's going to progress in different ways, right? Some people aren't meant to go through their dark shadow or their dark aspect until further on in their journey. Some people are forced to do it very early in their spiritual journey, like I was, right? It's all how the ball rolled down the hill and fell apart, right? Humpty Dumpty's got to put himself back together again, okay? So don't let the misconceptions of spirituality keep you from wanting to further yourself spiritually, okay? J-O-B, right? I don't know why the misconception is if you have a job, it's just you're just over broke, right? Yes, that is true. Like if you work at a gas station, or if you're working something that's more towards the minimum wage, doesn't have benefits and stuff, that is kind of just over broke, right? You're just barely scraping by, and you have to sometimes work 2 or 3 of those jobs just to make ends meet, right? That's not what we want to do. We want to build a career, right? It's fine if you go work a 9 to 5 somewhere, especially if you enjoy what you do, right? I'm an engineer. I got into quality management. You know, I got my own office now, which is cool. But as I'm doing all this and interacting, right, I get to meet new people. I get to experience other people's stories and successes. And you know, it's all about getting out there, meeting people, doing a good job, you know, stacking the paper so that later on my dreams, goals, and aspirations will conspire into my reality, right? So if you have a profession, right? If you went to school for, don't buy into this just over broke. No, you're way better off. I know, you know, with the student loans and paying off your debt and stuff, you actually make less money than those who are working just a job. But in all in time, pure heartedness, it'll take forward. So misconception about jobs, right? You got to work to stack paper. The more paper you have, the more opportunities you can produce in this world. So it's very important to not take your vortex to a wider extreme, right? Narrow your vortex and stay balanced within money, jobs, relationships, and spirituality. That's what I'm getting at. And it's funny I said relationships, because that was my next bullet point, right? Relationships. Everybody wants the soulmate. Everybody wants I want someone that understands exactly what I'm going through. Well, actually, in my opinion, you really don't. You want a partner in a relationship that's going to push you, right? Is not going to accept the fact of where you're at right now, right? Always challenging, right? Not settling, right? If you're with someone that's just always agreeing with you and just goes with the flow and doesn't really back push anything, it doesn't push you to grow. So in my opinion, a good, strong relationships are ones that conflict at times, but then also entangle into humbleness and joy at the same time. Wife, if you're watching, I love you, by the way. And then, oh, here's a big one. Twin flames. Oh my God. Would you people just stop with the twin flames? Like, seriously. Okay. Super huge misconception. Let's break this down. So the twin flame, they want you to believe that you can only twin flame, which is co-coalescing energies, right? It's co-wrapping, co-vortexing, co-creating energies. They want you to think that there's only one person out there in the world that you can do that with. Please. You can twin flame anyone once you become twin flammable, right? And I highly suggest you twin flame with yourself first, right? Because when you twin flame with yourself, you ride the horseman, you throw everything together, you force everything in the center, right? When everything becomes center, white, and pure, well, you become the White Wing Collective of 9. Now we're getting somewhere. So we can talk about it, we can channel it in, but let's become it. You know, now's the time of becoming. You see, this time last year at the 4th of July, I said I'm going to take my DNA over 50%. At that time, I thought it was only going to get more chaotic, and then I was going to have to really keep my thoughts clear. I was really going to have to, you know, make a sacrifice to take this path of divinity, right? But little did I learn, once you get past the 50%, chaos says goodbye. And then I get bored. I'm like, man, I gotta go check out chaos. What's she doing over there? You know, karma, you can't follow me, but I'm gonna go check out some chaos. So the more we progress, the more we turn our DNA structures on, the more light energy codes that we can hold. The brighter we get, the stronger we become, the more balanced and clear it is, right? And it almost gets boring, but in the same sense it's blissful, right? Because the strife has been taken away, because instead of just looping and looping, we did the figure 8, and we abolished the stress, we abolished the chaos. We've become so balanced, it's too easy. So us light warriors will dip back into chaos and save some of our brothers and sisters, right? So twin flame, you can twin flame with anyone that is twin flammable. So it's a progression thing. And when you learn to harmonize your energy and intertwine them with other people, that's twin flaming, right? And it's a magical experience, right? They call it love frequency, right? Why do they call it love frequency? Well, I'm breaking it down like this, okay? If you get your energy intertwined with somebody that strong and it's that pure, it's almost like a full body orgasm, right? It feels like love, which is kind of weird, kind of different, kind of scares you, right? You don't want to astro project to have sex, but in the same sense, if you bliss yourself to God, you will have an erotic experience, right? Pretty cool. So keep that in mind, all you twin flamers out there. You got to drop that shit. You got to realize you can twin flame with anyone who's twin flammable. You have to make the choice to co-coalesce, to co-create with them, right? One more thing, sacred space is sacred space, right? I like my sacred space. I keep my sacred space sacred, okay? So when multiple people join my space and everything, I acknowledge them, I smile, I give them grace and love and energy or whatever. But if certain people just keep coming back and they're just hanging out and they're just waiting for a couple cookie crumbs, you know, you're not allowing my sacred space to be sacred. You're allowing other people to come in and have to deal with you as well. So let's keep each other's sacred space sacred. Right? You don't have to, when you project, when you think about somebody, when you enter somebody's field, right? When you're thinking about them, you're in their field, quantum tangled at times, right? But if you could think about them, bless them, move on, and have a different thought pattern that's completely structured in a different way, well, that's going to help you keep sacred space sacred. Please pay attention and rewind that a little bit if you didn't quite understand that. Ooh, it's hot. About to go swimming. Super excited. So the last little bit I want to leave, it was last, I think Friday, maybe Thursday night, I had this dream, okay? There was this black cloud, and the black cloud had like snakes coming out of it, all kinds of evil demon looking shit, right? And it's just creeping. And I saw it, so what I do, I took off, and I ran in front of it to warn everybody. And everybody laughed at me and like didn't take me serious. And then I pointed and I'm like, here it comes, right? And then everybody goes into chaos, starts freaking out, right? They're trying to run from this cloud. And then eventually the crowd creeps over and it takes over. What happens when it takes over? Everybody's just like, zombified, right? What was I doing? I was grabbing people that weren't being zombified and I was leading them away from the cloud. It was very sacred. It was very chilling. It was very disturbing. But in the same sense, it was an eye-opener to know that I can be in the storm of chaos and lead people to greatness. Such a humbling experience, especially because we want to change the world so bad. We want to do all these little things, right? But it really starts with you and you conquering you and you being you, right? And then when you progress out of that and you start touching little things here and there and you start helping people here and there, the magnitude and the magnetics, right? The cryon, right? The magnetics of it all pulls it together. That oneness becomes so pure, right? We're stronger together. We're untouchable together. They just can't stop us. So it's all about rising above it, right? We have to rise above the cloud, right? So if we're always underneath the clouds, right? We allow the clouds to come over, it can shake us, right? But if we have certain people guiding us in certain ways, right? Guiding the light. I'm trying to guide everyone to the light. It's not always easy. When we have that fully understanding or whatever, then we stand above the cloud, right? And then we get to be the observer, right? Once you become the observer, you start seeing how this galaxy works, and you start seeing how entertaining it is and how great the programming is, right? And that's another one. That's another misconception. And I really want you guys to pay attention to this, all right? Breathe in a couple of times for me. You do not have to reprogram anyone. In fact, it is not your opportunity. It is not your job to reprogram anyone. The faster you learn that, the faster you understand that, the greater you're going to be at this game. Okay? It is your job to shine so bright and so vibrant, to be so awesome and magnificent that other people want to be you. Other people want your experiences, right? You don't just come out and cold clock them and tell them everything they know is a lie and just freaking the fuck out, because you're going to look like a weirdo to them, yet they ain't going to take you serious, okay? You don't have to reprogram anyone. In fact, all you do is shine and show people another way, a different linear thinking of how they progress. And when they start thinking outside the box, when they start changing the way they act because of the way you react, that's reprogramming at its finest. Because whoo, excuse me, you're not allowing them to have judgment and deceit. You're showing them a clear and evident way of the way things could be if they were to follow certain tiny principles. So remember, it is not your job to reprogram anyone. All right? I share that with one. I get a little bit of fire on that one, because it took me almost 2 years. I almost lost my beautiful wife to it, because all I want to do is shake the trees. That's all I want to do. You have to know. I found greatness. I can experience it. My whole body tingles with love. Really hard for other people who are, especially in chaos and in deceit, to have that acceptance when, you know, maybe they're relying on a drug or something like that, right? To understand that you can get high on life, right? Thanks, Mom. You taught me that when I was young. Never understood it. The older I get, the higher I get, the better I get, the more I realize you can be extremely blissed, extremely high on love, but you have to do the work. You gotta integrate. You gotta pull energy in. You have to expand your DNA. You have to show interest. You have to put forth effort, right? It's another misconception. You can't sit in a corner and expect a result. You have to have an action behind the thought, or there will be no result. I think I've said that about 300 million times in my videos. So guys, rise above. 4th of July is coming. I need you guys to be American. I need you guys to go shoot fireworks. I need you guys to go swimming. I need you guys to build fires. I need you to think about everything American. I want fires, hamburgers, hot dogs, whatever, vegan dogs, vegan burger, whatever. Don't let that trip you up. Go plan something right now. You have a few days. Go buy some fireworks. Go buy some sparklers. Do something to put yourself, because I'm telling you what, the 4th is going to be lit. We've got so much parties and fireworks and just people getting together, and finally, right, and I've had this manifestation, right? I said it almost 3 months ago. I said we're going to be fully open back in the 4th of July. We're going to take our independence back on Independence Day. We'll look around. I don't know where you guys are at. I don't know what kind of thoughts you've been throwing around in your states, but Indiana, which is a state that I border, and Ohio, pretty much going to be full go after the 4th of July, which is a beautiful thing, right? Of course, it might backfire, but no, it won't. You do not even bring that second wave crap around me, because it ain't going to happen. It can't exist within my reality. I know we have enough ventilators to heal the world. We're passing them out here and there. There's nothing to worry about. Why even think about it? Why did I even bring it up? Oh, well, that's why, because I wanted you guys to remember to have the best 4th of July 4th of your lives. Do something outside the box, right? Get outside your comfort zone, and then that joy and that magnificence that you will achieve by doing so will radiate throughout this month of July and into August, Leo season, my birthday season, we're going to lead people to the highest strength and courage possible so that they can conquer any idiocy, can't talk now, I'm losing it, out of this matrix and bring in those diamond pure love, beautiful codes. You guys, that's it. That's all I got. Unpacked. I love you guys. As always, stay true. Be you. I am D with Guiding D Light. And together we are Guiding D Light. Remember what I said. Go back and rewatch it if you have to. If you enjoyed this, if it rang a bell, if you got a little bit of tidbits out there, please share it on Facebook, share it on YouTube, share it on Instagram, whatever you gotta do. I'm fine with you guys sharing my videos. I'm not trying to make any money out of there. I'm just trying to get truth out there. I'm trying to make people see in a different linear way so that they can quantify some of the things that have been happening around them and start to put the pieces of the puzzle together and step into greatness. And with that, you guys, till next time, peace.